Get a bit of feedback. There we go.
Okay, thanks. Joe, that was another rough one. How does it feel to watch something like that unfold and be part of it?
Yeah, it hurts. It was a poor display today with the bat, especially after the start we had. Felt like we had a real opportunity to go and win this Test match, and some very poor dismissals in there after a very promising start. So disappointing to be sat here beaten as heavily as that when we felt very much in the game, even at the tea break or dinner break, whatever you call it. So yeah, it's a difficult one to take yet again, but it's clear and very evident what we need to do, where we need to improve, and the adjustments that need to be made.
Is it clear that this team, this squad that you've got here, can do that?
Yeah, it's absolutely. The quality's there, or the potential is certainly there with the group of players that we have. There's a lot of talent on show. I think we've just not turned it into performances, which is the bottom line in Test cricket. At this level, you've got to bang out performances, and we've not managed to do that at all on this trip. As a batting group, we've far too many times been bowled out for under 200, and you're never going to win Test matches when you don't get runs on the board. So felt for our bowlers after the performance they put in that second innings. Felt like we really missed an opportunity this week.
And you've sort of reacted to some of these collapses in various ways. You know, you've been critical. You've talked up some of the players at different times. You've kind of gone about things in one or two different ways. And does it make you feel like sort of your voice hasn't been heard because some of the problems are quite repetitive?
No, I wouldn't say that's the case. I'd say that there's, like I said, there's clear areas as individuals and as a team that we need to work on, whether it be technical, whether it be mentally being able to manage pressure points within a game. We just need to be far better than we have been. There is a lot of quality from Australia. I think has to be said. They've bowled extremely well throughout this series, and they aren't necessarily the traditional wickets that you would expect when you come and play out here. They've been quite challenging, but we haven't dealt with that well enough, and it's really cost us.
Thank you.
Who would like to go next, please? Paul Newman, go ahead.
Hi, Joe. Obviously, so much has gone wrong on this tour. How much of it has been self-inflicted, do you think, or how much of it that you couldn't really do anything about?
Well, as I say, I think everyone will look back on this tour and look at areas in which they can improve individually. And I think a lot of guys will look at themselves in the mirror and think, I've not given a very good account of myself, or I could certainly give a better account of myself than I have done. And that's a frustration. So in many ways, I think we've let ourselves down because we've not given a fair account of what we're capable of. But I think at the same time, it's quite evident that Australia are at this moment in time a better team than we are in all areas. And it hurts me to say that, but it's the reality of things, and it's we've got to accept that and find a way of being better, find a way of very quickly turning things around. And thankfully, we've got 4 or 5 weeks at home, and then the opportunity to go to the West Indies and start to make a significant improvement as a group of players.
How much change can be made in the short term? Do you expect to take the same group of players to West Indies? Does this need to be the sort of line drawn in the sand moment?
I think now's the wrong time to go into the next tour. It's clearly I'm slightly emotional, and I don't think that's a decision. Well, certainly solely not on my shoulders. So I think that's something that will be discussed obviously in the coming weeks. But we can't keep playing our cricket the way we are. We need to find ways of getting totals on the ball, which can win you Test matches and that get you into the game. Because we keep getting bowled out for 200, it makes it really hard work for it doesn't matter how good the ball and tech you are. You've got to play the perfect game every time. So, it's, as I say, that it's clear as though some of the areas we need to improve on.
And obviously, it is a very low moment and it's just happened, but do you have the appetite to carry on as captain at this stage?
Yeah, I'd love the opportunity to take this team forward and to turn things round. At the minute we're going through a real tough stage as a group of players, and the performance haven't been good enough. But I would love the opportunity to try and turn things around and for us to start putting in performances that you'd expect from an English Test team, which we've been lacking of late.
Is that a question of not wanting to go out on a low note as captain? Wanting to start again and put it right?
No, I also believe that I'm the right man to take this team forward in my own eyes, and if that decision is taken out of my hands, then so be it. But I'd love the opportunity to carry that forward, and yes, I do have an appetite to carry on and to turn things around, but we'll see how things unfold.
Okay, we'll do Stefan. Finish with Andrew Miller. Go ahead, Stefan.
Hi, Joe. You've captained England in more tests than any other man. Do you feel like you've always been given the right tools to do the job? I'm not talking about players, but everything that goes with English cricket.
Could you be slightly more specific, please?
Well, things like the domestic setup, maybe a greater priority given to white ball cricket, the way that players have been in and out of the team over the past 12 months, even COVID, which obviously you can't do anything about, but do you feel like you've always been given the right tools in which to do the job?
I think as you mentioned, there's been a number of different challenges that this team has had to try and overcome in recent times, and it's been tricky. There's the one thing that the Red Bull teams had to manage is long tours. So you're talking about rest and rotating players for absolutely the right reasons, but it does make it challenging to get continuity and consistency, and that does feed into performances. And it doesn't matter how you look at it, it does. The scheduling is hard work in COVID environments. The amount of cricket that we're playing in these bubbles does make it very difficult, and it does take its toll on individuals and as a collective as well. Yes, there's been challenges, but I think that whether you look at other things back at whether it be a lower level, there are certain things that definitely need to change. We've got an opportunity to really prioritise Test cricket, off the back of this, make a real significant change to the game and prioritise this team. And let's hope that happens in due course.
Do you need assurances that will happen if you're going to carry on as captain?
I'd like to think that will happen. I really do hope so.
Last one, Andrew Miller, please.
Joe, I was going to go down a similar road actually. Just obviously Tom Harrison kind of echoed your sentiments after Melbourne, saying that it's time for a reset. What do you think that would look like, and do you expect to be a big part of the discussion about what's gone wrong and what needs to go right, or do you think it needs to be taken out of the hands of the current team and someone else decides what to do with English cricket at the moment?
I think there's a lot of things to consider, and I think there's varying from some long-term things, some short-term things. But my main focus is always going to be looking after this team and trying to get results with the squad of players that get the opportunity to play for England, and that will hopefully be the case in 5 weeks' time when we go to the West Indies. I'm sure I'll get an opportunity to express my views on things and how I think we can make significant changes to the Red Bull game in our country. So let's see how things progress in the coming weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.